Hello and welcome. Welcome everyone who's going to be here. And I know it always takes a few minutes for people to get here. So, hello everyone. I am Natasha Venter and I am here to help you. I'm a psychic medium, intuitive life, purpose. I bring purpose to life. I want you to stay alive. I want you to know that you are loved. So when I do work with people, I really try to bring out their ways that they know how to be. So with that, being a psychic medium, I have been one who really has struggled through life myself. And I have been told that, Natasha, how in most intuitives, they just kind of they don't go deep into life. And I like to go deep into life. I like to go into the shadow work. The shadow work is something that we all need to do to be better in our lives. And it's not necessarily that we are wrong or right or anything like that. And as my husband just texted, I love you. And it's just one of those things. So with that going forward in our life and managing our life, that a lot of us struggle with something. And a lot of time it's the belief. And that's why today I wanted to do a belief show, right? So that we can get stronger in who we are, get stronger in what we're doing. So, if you'd like to leave some comments, I will read the comments if they are just quick and simple. But if it's about a reading or something like that, I'll take little commercial breaks to do that. So, with that as we're going, and then at the end of the show, I want you to know I'll pull some oracle cards to help us out here. So, with that I want you to know that no matter where you're at and what you're doing, that today's show is going to be something about believing. And I know that believing is a story of many of us have different beliefs, and it's not about religious beliefs that I'm talking about here. It's not about the belief in the what's the word that I want to use, the political system here. It's not about that. It's that deep dark circle sounds, those stories we tell ourselves. And I was talking to someone today working with a kindergartner because I do some work in this elementary school system here. And this one child who's he came in, you know, um, kicking, hitting, you know, grabbing, not knowing physical, boundaries. I'm going to call it, because maybe he didn't have that practice growing up, and so he's using the language. I'm a bad kid. I'm a bad kid. I'm a bad kid. And I have stopped many kids along the way when I'm hearing this. I'm just a bad kid. I'm just a bad kid. I'm just a bad kid. And I stop them and say, no, and I get mad. You, I tell them, you are not a bad kid. You're a great kid who's making poor choices. And they kind of, what? I'm not a bad kid. No, you're not a bad kid. You just have to make different choices. And that's the thing is that a lot of us, especially the males in our lives, have been told that they're bad because they're not making the right decisions. Well, who's making the right decisions, right? Because there's different perspectives out there. So who's really making the poor choice? Because, there's one person who's saying, "Oh, that's not a bad thing." And then another person said, "Oh, that's the most dangerous bad thing that they could ever do." So with that, there's different perspectives, and we're basing our belief system, internal belief system, on these other people's navigations of life, right? And, this is my perspective. This is my witnessing. This is my awareness that I hold no judgments. We all have the story. We all have life. We all have this dance going on, right? But the thing is, though, if we can take what we've been told and if we were in a moment where we could let go of everything in our life from before and start fresh, who would we truly be? Right? Who would we truly be? That would be the question. Because the fact that most of our belief system is made up by other people's tellings us of things, right? what are we are, who we are, what we're going forward, what's happening, right? And this negotiation of our stories are not helping us at all. They're not helping us at all. And so when we're going forward and managing our life and doing the things that we're doing, well, isn't that the story? Isn't that the story? So I'm going to take this little pause here and introduce myself again. I'm Natasha Venter. I'm a psychic medium, intuitive personal awareness life coach. I love to help people go through life, and I do work through the shadows. So if you're watching me on Instagram, welcome. If you're watching me on Twitter, please know I do not get comments from Twitter. I don't know why. I have not really looked into it personally. So if you're wanting to make some comments, if you're watching on Twitter, can you go to my YouTube channel, Natasha Venter, Angelic Clarifications, or you can go to my Facebook channel, which is Natasha Venter, Angelic Clarifications. And if you would like to make comments, please, this is a discussion too, because a lot of us are stretched and pulled into our belief systems, and a lot of stuff is going. So I want people to the believing in dot 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 the believing in, and that's why the title of this conversation is believing, because of the fact that many of us don't believe. We don't believe that we are like a gem that's getting unpolished, right? And if you're watching later or re-listening to this later on my podcast, Life Clarifications with Natasha, that you can have a lot of different podcasts on there. That life is happening around us, but how can we get better? So picture a gem, you know, that's a little bit untarnished, because what is now, this is an untarnished, unpolished stone, right? It's a raw stone. This one is polished. What's the difference? Just a little bit worn off. Things are worn off, right? And so with that if we're holding on to so many other things. We're like these gems that are really rough around the edges, right? And if we're holding on to other people's belief system, that's stopping us from believing we can. We can. And I know for me that watching my life and working through my life, that, there's many times I've doubted myself. I am a very much a psychic medium, yes, but I'm also a human. I'm also Natasha, who's an only child, married to a husband who was drinking most of our marriage. And so, to be honest with you, his belittling because he didn't have any self image of himself, right? Because that's why we drink a lot of times, is because we want to cover up what we're thinking about ourselves. Right. And so when we're working through a lot of these stories and these dances of ourselves and going forward in our life, that, we can't go any, we're struggling going anywhere. So me being dyslexic, and, I didn't really read until after high school. So a lot of the technology, a lot of the book readings, a lot of those stories have been a struggle for me. And so a lot of my intuitive knowings have come from my own connection to the world around me, because of the fact that I didn't read a lot of the tools of knowings, because of the fact if I read something like the prophet, or if I read something like the shack, or something like that, something that would stir some of my knowings, they brought into my own. And when things were brought into my own, then I would ask and reach out to the universe of love around me that I talk to all the time, and bring it in. And I had to come into the story of, why am I really here? I'm here to bring an insight to things. I'm here to bring love and a teaching to life, right? So going forward and into this journey, we're all in this dance of, how can I do better in my life? And that's part of our believing. believing I can, believing that there is this journey. And like I was talking to, a lot of these, kids at school that they've gone through a lot um, of stories and a lot of energies and a lot of dances that, they're imploding a lot of times in school because they don't know how to deal with their emotions. But we got these teachers that are in charge of, 18 to 30 kids who, 7 or 10 of them are imploding and the rest are going, I don't want to hear this today. Their screaming is hurting my ears, and they're having struggles, right? And so with that going forward and in this dance of knowings that the wisdom we can get to the wisdom we can get to is knowing that I can believe I can survive today. I believe I can go forward today. I believe in the stance that I am today. And there's these journeys of where we're going, right? And so the stories of where we're at and where we're going, life is happening. So me being on Instagram on my phone and me being on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook on my computer, I believe I can. I believe I can. And that's where insight comes. And that's where I trust. It's when I get an insight, it's like, oh, why don't I just do that? Okay. And so I do that. It's, when I get those insights, and we all get those insights, you don't have to be intuitive to get insights. And check in. Can I? Can I? Hmm, I can. I can. It's something that is logistically where I can. Now, me flying off jumping out of an airplane with a parachute, I believe I can. Do I want to? No. So, there's differences in how we can believe I cans. You know, I can stand up in front of people and talk. Now, shy, quiet Natasha, who didn't want to talk to anybody for most of my life before about 20 years ago, that, you know, and it was a growth coming forward after that 20 years because my parents passed away in those years and it really cracked me open like a keg or like an egg and not like a keg, I don't drink, so but it's one of those things but it took me the 20 years of evolution to get here. So it's not like snapping our finger and saying I believe I can, but yet it is in a way because we have to start somewhere, right? We have to believe we can somewhere. And going forward is the journey of the belief, is the journey of the belief. And you know I'm reading this one book and I'm going to be doing a book study with it. um that it's and it led into the story about how this monster was there, and then the monster, um, once you looked at it, got smaller. And that's the thing is that a lot of our stories, a lot of our networkings, a lot of our journeys are part of the dance of our own thinkings and the monsters growing bigger than who we are really, right? These monsters of growing that aren't necessarily, they're other people's beliefs on us who've pushed their beliefs on us. So that one or several children who are making poor decisions thinking that they're bad kids. Isn't that sad? And then we become these bad adults and we struggle being right or good because we're always telling ourselves that we're bad. Oh my, what baggage do we carry? Right? What baggage do we carry because we made poor choices when we were younger? Who doesn't? And then we become these people who are adults, right? And I can tell you, I may not make the best decisions all the time, but I'm not a bad person. So, journeying our life and going through our life, these stories of who we are and believing we can or cannot, that's an interesting process, isn't it? It's an interesting process. And I know that that's part of the reason why we're on this earth is to learn how to do better. And it's not necessarily be the better person because we are good people, but it's learning to do better decision makings and believing because if we stay in that story of I'm just a bad person or there's badness happening to me around me, you know, and that's this thing that I observe when I walk into a classroom is there may be 5 students who are struggling in different ways, but you have 15 kids who are basically good kids. And and here again, I just use that word, good kids, and who are making poor choices. But I didn't say that those other kids were bad kids. I just said they were making poor decisions because they didn't know better to do better. So with that going forward, the journey of who we are, it is about can we believe that we are worthy? Can we believe that we are somebody? Can we believe that we are the gifts around who we are? Because nobody knows who we're going to be when we grow up. Not even ourselves, right? Now, I'm not going to say that there isn't bad people out there. There is. There's been students out there that you can really see that they're going to be the next one that's going to be in jail, sadly, because of just their makeup, who they are, what they've grown up in, sadly. So we never know what we're going to be when we're growing up. So give yourself a chance to believe. Believe that you are amazing. And a lot of us are in relationships that have struggled. And we really fall into the trap of what the others help us believe. And like I was telling somebody about 3, 4 weeks ago, that that you know this dance of stories going forward. That I was telling them, isn't it amazing how when we get out of a relationship, that's when we um, shine ourselves up. We get our hair cut, we dress a little sharper, we do a lot of things after the relationship breaks up. Why don't we do that when we're in the relationship, right? Why don't we do why don't we believe in ourselves enough to know that we can shine ourselves up? It's the same idea, like I said a couple weeks ago, that why do we remodel a house when we're willing to move out, when we're going to move out and sell it? Why don't we remodel the house when we're in it to enjoy it? Why do we do things after the fact instead of treating ourselves good in the middle of it? Shine ourselves up, believe that we're miracles. We are amazing. When we were born, weren't we called a miracle? When we were born, weren't we called a miracle? Isn't it a miracle that a sperm and an egg can magically make us, right? Make us. That is a miracle. And then we get through the 9 months of most of us being put together halfway decent. Isn't that a miracle? And if we're not made that way, there's something out there that we're supposed to learn from it. And my love goes to you through that journey. And then if we're in a come into a family that is like, um, doesn't know better to do better, right? And we survive that, isn't that a miracle? So we're miracles. So me being here sitting in front of you, I'm still a miracle, even though I was born so many years ago, right? So believe that we are the miracle that is the beginning of this journey. We're just on a journey. We're just here to be on a journey. And, being triggered emotionally, being triggered mentally, being triggered spiritually, being triggered politically, being triggered, period, in life is part of this dance. And, nobody knows better to do than, in a way, us. But we have to start being more positive in our life and believing. Start believing in ourselves and believing because there is no other story. There is no other story. It's us being here today. Because what would happen if we weren't here? We got told we were not going to be here much longer. What would our life change like? We were told that we weren't going to be here anymore. What would our life change like? And I'm not saying go off and rob a bank and to get all the money that you can do. Yeah, there's going to be limitations still, but yet, how would we change things? How would we change things? Because I know that as I look around this room, there's things that mean something to me, but they probably wouldn't mean the same to my kids or my husband. But while I'm here, I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy it because of the fact that, that's my right. But does that mean that I need to hold on to everything? No, no. Our story has to have a chance to bloom. And that's how we start walking this road of believing. Believe that we can be who we want to be. It took me a long time believing that because of my husband's drinking habits, that he was very belittling, and this image. But then at the same time here at the very beginning of my show, I see the text come through. So I've been seeing people messaging me, and I'm sorry I can't get to you because you're on my phone. And I'm on my phone in video here, so I can't do anything about that. So with that, he said, I love you. He's given me a chance to shine because he sees that him shining, me shining, we shine more together, which gives us a chance, right? Gives us a chance. And our stories need an opportunity for us to believe. Believe I can. Believe I can go for that job interview. Heck, you don't even know what that interview is going to be, that job is really going to entail. You can always say, no, I'm sorry. Through this interview, I'm sorry for wasting your time, but I've come to the understanding that this job is not meant for me and I don't want to waste your time anymore. Believe I can go through that interview. Also, you don't know if the universe wanted you to go to that interview to find out that as you're going through the interview, the person who's running the interview says, you know what? Today, this morning, this job opened up and I think you're perfect for it. Why not believe that there can be opportunities out there? I believe there's opportunities, but it takes us to stand up and walk it. This journey, this knowing, this ability, this being. So take a chance. You just never know. Believe. You just never know, right? You just never know. what is in the plans. So, with that, the amazing thing about life is that tomorrow's a new day, the next minute's a new day. So, believing in opportunity. I believe I can. I believe I will. I know I can do this. I may not know all of it, but I know I can. I can survive my first day of a job. I believe I can. You know, because tomorrow is another day. You just never know. I hope this is making sense, because, it's amazing when we take that mental stance, the mental ability to say, I can. I believe. I'm believing I can. I'm believing in miracles. I'm believing in opportunities. I'm believing in the next journey of life. I'm believing in this wisdom. I'm believing in love. I'm believing. But, there we go. Let's go back to that one. I'm believing in love. But don't we have to start by being love ourselves? Don't we have to start by believing in love ourselves? I love myself. And, as we go forward in this journey, that isn't it amazing when we start finding out about loving thyself? There again, going back to that story where a lot of us, when we were growing up, were told we were bad kids. No, we weren't bad kids. We were making poor decisions, but we weren't bad kids. And then we grow up being adults that have a struggle with that. And then we figure out that we don't really love ourselves. But believing in ourselves, believing in the magic of who we are, that miracle that we were when we were born, right? So we're believing in that miracle and the wisdom that comes forth. Because there is this journey that is this journey of life. It's a mystery because we don't know what's next. Even me being an intuitive medium, I don't know what's next in my life. I don't know what's next in other people's life because it's up to us, the person making choices, and the people we're around making their choices. And then we have the universe putting in their 2 cents. So, but I can sure tell you that the more that we stand up and give opportunities, you never know. Believing I can. Kind of like this book that I'm reading right now, that I'm going to be doing a book study with a couple of people. That idea didn't even come in my head because the book just came into my life about 3 days ago, right? So a friend of mine were working on something this summer. Then opportunity came in because I started believing in this journey that I was on. And then she told me about a book that was brought to her attention. So then we started reading together. And then she talked about a book study. And then I said, well, I'll run the book study. And then we started talking about doing that. And then it was like one thing led to another because I believed in the magic of the journey. I believed in the magic of the journey. And the journey to me is the value of life. Because the fact that no matter where we're at, we're the people with the 2 feet to walk forward. Now, that's if you have legs. You can roll forward, you can crawl forward. Because I know a lot of people who have extremities that are hard, and you have to rely on other people. You have to believe in other people to carry you around or help you around, right? So you have to have a belief that is beyond even mine. You have to believe that somebody's going to take care of you because you can't move. Isn't that amazing? To be that vulnerable in a belief system that somebody else, if you're paraplegic and you cannot move, that somebody else will feed you and get you where you need to go. Isn't that amazing? Belief. Belief. And then us who are two-legged and aren't armed and a fresh brain and a knowings and we complain. Not belittling anybody's story. We all have a story. We all have something that has happened to us. Many of us have gone through wars, and not all of them have had guns. Our personal wars have drug us down. But I'm telling you right now that the story of that journey is really not worth staying in. And it's time for us to believe. Believe that we, us, as a nation, as a generation of the world, can start something. And it's believing that we can start good. We can start love for ourselves, right? So this journey going forward, believe in who you are. Because as we were told when we were kids, the possibility that we were bad people. No, we were making poor decisions until we learned to do better. So believe that you are who you can do better. Okay, so today I'm going to take this opportunity right now to make a segue into doing oracle cards. I love to do oracle card readings. So if anybody who is watching would like to have an oracle card, I'm going to do gentle creatures. These guys are great. They're just soft, gentle cards. I love them. They are just so amazing. Ganesh wants to come out today. Ganesh. And I know a lot of people know about Ganesh, but Ganesh is someone who really helps us to break patterns. Beautiful cards. Beautiful cards. They're a little bit thicker, so they're harder for me to shuffle, but they are beautiful. Ganesh really helps with breaking apart old patterns to create new, better blessings. And the wisdom is there with them. I have not used these cards very much, and I think that they're wanting to be woken up a little bit more. So we're going to use them today. And then, let's see here. My earpiece keeps coming out. Sorry about this here. So the next one would be Dragon. Dragon wants to come out. So if you on Instagram would like an oracle card, what this does is I shuffle the cards, the decks, right? And the cards will come, the ones that you. So what I would do is I would shuffle the deck and I would ask you to hold an intention. And all you have to do is hold that intention, and then I would shuffle, and then that card will pop out, or I will be drawn to a card, and then I'll read that for you. I'm going to pull some cards that are for the greater good here also. So Dragon, Gentle Creatures, and Ganesh. Ganesh are the card choices. So if anybody would like a card reading, I will do a card reading. I'll do some card readings for the greater good here coming up here in a few minutes. So I give an opportunity for anybody who's watching to put in. So please tap in that you would like a dragon or gentle creatures or Ganesh. And then I will, and these guys are wanting to talk. So this is a new deck of mine, Earth Magic. These are beautiful cards. I have not used these cards yet. So they are like sitting here yelling at me, though, intuitively. And so they're very beautiful here. So lightning power. So I have not really brought these in, but they're saying yes, they're willing to. So I'll clear this deck here. Put in the intentions. Woo! That jumped out. Milky Way. Perspective. Isn't that the choice today? Perspective. Yeah, see, the cards jump out sometimes. That's the way they work. So since nobody's speaking up, I'm going to do a Ganesh card for the greater good here. Turn it upside down here. Oops. Okay, here. But believing, believing that we can. Like I used the example earlier in the show. I believe I can jump out of an airplane with a parachute. I believe I can do it with somebody. I can believe I could do it by myself. Do I choose not to? No. So there's an example of that we can have choices, but what are we stopping ourselves from to better ourselves if we don't believe? So instead of waiting until we're done with relationships, ready to move from a house, start today in where we're at and believing who we are today. Okay, so Ganesh, I'm asking you to do a card for all of us. And Dragon wants to come out and have this story too. You can feel them. Okay, so this one here is like really yelling at me. Oh, there's 2 cards. Huh. Okay. So the 2 cards that came were Spiritual Quest and Belonging. Belonging. Those are the 2 cards that Ganesh wanted to do. Okay, so I'm going to do 40 first because that was, and I'm praying that my reading skills are good today with my dyslexia. 40, Spiritual Quest. Okay. You are called to realize your full potential and to choose to become a force of good in this world. Wow, isn't that? There's no mistakes, right? Whether or not you are aware of it, you are embarking on a great spiritual quest. Your soul is leading you to a myriad of discoveries about who you truly are and what you came here to achieve this lifetime. Each of us are unique has a unique journey that is tailored especially for us and designed for us to reach our highest potential. During this quest, you will gain significant insight into your purpose here on earth. For many, this journey will have been preceded by a period of upheaval, confusion, and conflict, which has birthed a desire for greater clarity, concrete answers about the meaning and the purpose of your life. From this spiritual journey you are undertaking, you will gain wisdom, enlightenment, and enhanced sense of your personal power. As you travel on this path, make a point to commit to a quest or not to be tempted by distractions that may cause you to veer off track. Ganesh urges you to focus your energy less on having and more on being. That's a cool one. Ganesh urges you to focus your energy on less on having and more on being. Your spiritual growth can be enhanced by the regular practice of meditation and self-reflection at this time. Wow. Pretty cool. And then this one is belonging. Belonging. Ganesh, belonging. So 41. Learning to find security from within. In this card, Ganesh uses the mouse as his vehicle, which signifies his triumphant over the ego. In the Hindu mythology, a mouse symbolizes the ego, for the ego can eat away at all that is good and decent in the person. Belonging seeks to solve the predicament of the ego's own perceived separation. Since the ego has no conscious memory of its connection to others and to source, You experience a need to get out of this seclusion of bounding with the people around you. These people can be family, peer groups, or your community. Ego is neither good nor bad, but simply a necessary part of you in this existence. The ego can manifest inclinations that are either more positive or more negative in nature. There are many positive aspects to belonging. You develop your ability to love, connect, bond, share, or care for others. You see yourself more clearly through the mirror of a relationship. Is it important to belong that you not try to seek approval through others? Through this card, Ganesh is here to help you focus on the positive feelings from being a part of the community. Learn to trust and ask for help and to rely on others. Boy, that was a magical card. Okay, now Dragon wants to come out for the greater message for the universe here. Excuse me here. So I'm going to pull Dragon here. And it's 444. Magical numbers. Magical numbers. I've been seeing 333 and 444. A lot of those numbers. That means the universe is really here for you. Okay, Dragon, you wanted to come out and say something. What do you want to say? What do you want to say, Dragon? Where is the card you want to say? Okay, wait a minute. The card's right in here. Stop, Natasha. Oh. Okay. Sorry about here. Card dropped. So I'm going to read. I guess Dragon had 3 cards that it wanted to come out because it was one that I was going for, and then there's these others. Okay. So, isn't this a beautiful card? That is just beautiful. Okay, so that is 1023. These are Roman numerals, so it's okay. So 1020. Okay, so plantum. I am the keeper of secrets. This incredible being is the guardian of the Atlantean temple. He connects to Saint Germain and is the historian of the record keeper of all events during the Atlantean era. He can take you to and bestow upon you the magic of encompassed in that time. His message: I am the keeper of the secrets, which are as old as the universe itself. I am here to impart this ancient knowledge to you, for yourself and for others. This wisdom has been hidden in the eons and forgotten by many. Now is the time for these memories to resurface and for you to acquire ancient knowledge. Like many things, these secrets have been hidden in plain view. All you need to do is ask to reconnect to them. During meditation, Plantum will show you what to learn and recall, bring you into full alignment with new chakra energy, and guide you through the chakra color system. He will make you aware of your healing potential and connect you with your abilities deeply, enable you to clear lower vibration from your physical and spiritual bodies, paving your way to become a truly awesome spiritual warrior. Boy, those are cool. Now, that's all about that awakening into believing, right? So now I'm going to do Escapulus. I'm saying me and my dyslexia here. So look at that dragon. Isn't he cool? Huge. Huge. That's almost what my elder looks like. My guide dragon that I have. Okay, so 10, 20, 5, 7. 27. Not healer. Escapulus. Escapulus. It is your journey and yours alone. Aeschylus was the ancient Greek god of medicine, the son of Apollo. Upon meeting him for the first time, his opening words were, "Your modern image of a Cantus is incorrect." He was a healer of great repute in Greek mythology. And this dragon in particular reminds us that inside us, too, resides great healers. His particular affinity lies in practitioners who use healing plants, herbalism, pathology, and essential oils. And to this, his rather shamanic energy has the affinity with snakes, and he is powerfully ally. Aquilus is the dragon of the healer and the shaman. His wisdom is boundless. If he has flown into your reading today, know that you have his abundant knowledge at your side, continuing with his particular help for your physical health life. He asks you to need the support of a professional with knowledge of healing plants. Or if it's time for you to undertake training in one of the areas mentioned above, or needed shamanism. Alongside his ability to support those working with plant energies, his powerful ally when we are ready for the next phase of our transformational journey of life. His presence in this card today reminds you that together you create the immense contribution of transformation. Deep within you, know you can and will succeed. He had to say, you are the compass of transformation. So allow me to guide you forward along this winding road. Remember, hold on to what you know to be true, for it is your journey and yours alone. Life never stands still, and if it's forever changing and evolving. Together, we can transmute that which binds you, except that your journey on earth is about life, death, and rebirth as you transform and grow potentially and spiritually, personally and spiritually. Wow, that was pretty huge. Orban, I don't know if I should read him because time is getting short here. Okay, Orban here. Sorry, my reading's a little bit slow here. I apologize. I am believing I can. So back here, 10, 4. Reconnect to your physical body to get out of your head. Oh, this one's a good one. Hello there. I'm doing good. Thank you for messaging on Instagram, or I mean on YouTube here. If Orban has turned up today, it is to reassure you that you can achieve what is required. Believe. You may have to dig deep into within yourself and may do this with long haul, but you can and will succeed. This is this streaking red dragon connects is firmly grounded. An effort connects to the base chakra. He is therefore relates that everything that makes up our physical lives in this world will create ourselves. Orban's message is a simple one. Nothing in this world you call home is instrumental. Nothing is too big to deal with. Get your feet back on the ground and anchor yourself into your physical reality. Having your head in the clouds will not give you the answers you desire or require. Connect to your base chakra and reconnect to your physical body. Get out of your head and into your body. Release your ever tumbling and swirling thoughts. When you are more grounded in this way, you will be better placed to deal with the matters that are demanding your attention. You will then be able to handle them fully with ease, freeing you to move forward. Your time is best spent tracking whatever is demanding your time. Deal with it totally, and then you will be in a position to move forward. Although Orban is a tough talking dragon, sometimes you need to hear it is as it is. He is a great ally to you, and you need to get the job done. Deal with the here and now. Orban finishes his message with, seek the path of least resistance. The more you tussle with a problem, the tougher the nonsense becomes. Eventually, you're stranded in a situation. So in other words, it's about moving forward, least resistance. And I know right now that we have Mars in retrograde in Gemini. So that's a perfect good message. And Gemini is about an air sign, so it's about being in the head. And a lot of times Mars, he's the god of war, transformation, moving forward. And if we stand still, we get stuck, right? So go in the way of least resistance. If you're getting too much in your head, do something physical. Get physical and start believing in yourself. You can. You can. It's up to us, but we can. We can change this world, but it takes us individually to start. So welcome everyone, and blessings to everyone. And if you are interested in getting a card reading, please let me know here. I have Dragon, Ganesh, and Gentle Creatures. So with that, here, let's see, put that back. I want you to know that next week here, I will be having one of my dear friends on, and she has been amazing in my life. She does Laugh Tech, where she is a co owner or co teacher in that, where they that they have taught me to stand up and talk, right? She also does Dreamosity, which is about, getting your business going, getting things going. How can we be who we are? I love her. She is such an amazing being. And she will be on next week. Okay, so Veronica, you want Gentle Creatures? Okay, remember to put your intentions out there, and I'll get your card here real quick there. And, as we're going through our uh, life is going to be amazing. So Monday with Regan and we're on, I'm here Monday, um, Monday and Wednesday for Pacific time. I am here to help support you. So Monday is a Dance of the Soul at 4 o'clock Pacific time. And I don't know what Regan and I are going to talk about because Regan Forston is a hypnotherapist, clinical hypnotherapist, and he's a one who does a lot of work on life. Oh, a blue jay. Blue jay is right outside. Blue jay. Time to look up to blue jay, huh? Okay, Veronica. Okay, Veronica, there's this card that is calling to me. Support. I love this card. Look at this. Support. Support. Okay, support. There's this creature that is down below. Someone's sitting on his back and it's watching this bird go by. Look at there. Support. Support. Okay, here we go. Join the gentle creatures as they support one another, from the one resting on the ground to the one perched on its back. These two know what it means to be there for someone. It is less about knowing why they need you, but more about showing up when asked. They remain gentle with each other because support isn't requested unless it is truly needed. One even rests their eyes as they are here simply for the job of being present. They are not needed for advice, input, culprit, or anything other than just presence. There is a gift that is harder to give than we might imagine. This gift is harder to give than imagine. How often have your requests for support turned into silent witnessing to Mr. or Mrs.? Fix it all. Fix it all. Remember that when we are asked for support, it is always a smart idea to ask, what kind of support do you need? Some will need hand-holding. Some will need anything from a gentle boost or a swift kick in the rear. It is our right to ask for what we need and our responsibility to give what we are asking for once we have agreed to something. So don't let your own need of support hold you back from asking. You deserve it. Just set boundaries on exactly what you need. Our gentle creatures bring this lesson forward to you now. Well, I hope that was helpful. So remember, if you do like this show and other shows, and you know someone who only likes podcasts, these shows are on podcast. All you have to look for is Natasha Venter, Life Clarifications with Natasha. So blessings to you on this journey, and know that no matter where you're at, that you have an amazing ability to believe in yourself. All it takes is a sticky note sometimes in the window of the mirror in the bathroom in the morning saying, I believe in myself. I believe I can. I believe in the miracles of life. I believe. So there again, I believe. I'm Natasha Venter at angelicclarifications.com. And if you're looking for a private session to help you work through some of your shadows, I'm here for you. Blessings to all. Bye now.